Today, we're going to be reviewing the Scuf Envision wired controller after 1 month of me using it. All right, bros? So today, we're going to be making a pros list and then a cons list of why you should buy the controller or why you should not buy the controller. And we'll be answering that question in this video. The list are going to include everything from the best to the best that I experienced, the absolute worst that made me want to chuck out my controller out the window. I did want to mention that I do play Warzone, so this is my experience using the controller, mainly playing Call of Duty. So let's start off with the cons list. So the first con that I have for the controller is the controller sleekness. I don't know how else you want to really describe it. It just doesn't have any grip on it, and it's really smooth all the way around. So when I'm using it, my hands sweat a lot because I'm a sweaty nerd. But if you have issues with sweaty hands, then I would really recommend upgrading to the pro version, because that one does come with a grip, but this one doesn't have the grip, so it fucking sucks. I honestly didn't think it was gonna be that much of an issue, but I probably complain about it every single stream. Every single day I play Call of Duty, I complain about it. So definitely upgrade it if that's a major concern for you. Now let's talk about the ICUE software, boys. That is a piece of work in itself. I've seen that they've got a couple updates. Okay, so they're trying to fix it, but that crashes when I'm playing Warzone almost every single day. And what happens when it crashes, your controller actually stops working. Well, all the buttons up here, the triggers, they all continue to work, but what doesn't work are the paddles. So let's say you're trying to get crack, boys. You see a squad, you're pulling up to the squad, and you can't even use any of your bumpers because the software crashed. What kind of software is that? There should be like hardware mappings in the back, which there are, but they don't work unless I'm just too dumb to figure it out. But dude, it is the most infuriating thing. With the software crashing mid gunfight, oh, I lose 10 out of 10 times. So another con that I did see are, so the two bumpers right here are not interchangeable. So if you snap them off, you're screwed, boy. You are screwed. And I was like, well, maybe if it was the inner paddles like this one and this one, it wouldn't be a major concern. But it's these two, which I'm always spamming up. Slide cancel, slide cancel, slide cancel. Or I don't know if you guys are playing Warzone, but whatever game you play. But if you're spamming up the B and the A buttons a lot, then that might be an issue for you that I would recommend upgrading to the pro version again. The main thing about this controller is I would have went with a pro, but they're always out of stock. So I went with the wired, and the price point is pretty freaking good. You cannot beat 120 bucks, let's be honest. And the last con that I have for you guys on this list is gonna be the no digital triggers. So these ones right here, these triggers don't have any digital clickers. The ones on top do, but these ones don't. So it's gonna be spamming a bunch of random inputs, and you're probably gonna get extremely frustrated. But I do have a fix for you guys that you guys need to go into ICUE software to fix. All right, so once you have that ICUE software open, you're gonna make your way over to the triggers, and then at the bottom here it says the dead zones. Make sure these are at 0. But this is the thing, boys. This is the thing. Go into whatever game you're playing and change the dead zones in there to the minimal dead zone that it doesn't spam that trigger. You know what I mean? So in Call of Duty, I put mine on 10-10, and that is where I experienced that it didn't randomly throw stuff. So every game is going to be different. So go ahead to put it into the software as 0-0, so there's not a double input delay, because by default it's automatically 10-10 dead zones in the actual software. So in the game, it's probably going to be 10-10 as well. So technically you're doing 20-20 dead zones. You see what I mean? It's going to be a big issue, especially if you're a competitive gamer like I am. And same thing with the sticks. Put it to 0-0, please, boys. Because when I first got the controller out, I'm like, dude, this controller sucks because I'm playing on 20-20 dead zone. But put it to 0-0 in the software. Go into your game, put the dead zones to whatever you prefer. All right, that's my best advice that nobody really talks about, and it's going to give you the competitive advantage to win those gunnies or whatever game you're playing. All right, so now what you guys have all been waiting for, the pros list. So in the #1 spot, we have the price point. It's only like 120 bucks. You cannot beat that, guys. I'm telling you, it's the best controller for the amount of money that you're spending by far. So the second pro that I have on this list is the controller size. I have pretty big hands. Look, you see my hands? It fits in the controller like a glove, boys. It fits in the controller like a glove. It feels so good. The controller is perfect size for me. I'm like 6 feet, 180 pounds, if that helps you at all. And another thing that I grown to love when I first got it, I was going from an Impact to an Envision. So the thumbsticks were actually pretty small compared to the Impact. And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna like that, but I really like it. It really gives you full control over your aim. And my thumbs are pretty big, so it just works so well. So I really like the sticks and how they're a lot smaller. That's a big pro for me. And then another pro that you guys probably already all know are these buttons are all mechanical, so they're never gonna get stuck like in other controllers. Sometimes they get stuck and you're screwed if that happens. But it also has the G buttons, which are really good. You can program to whatever input or keyboard shortcut that you want on your PC, which is broken. And then the S2 buttons, of course, it's an extra button that you can push with the side of your fingers if you're into that. I use this one for Warzone to ping enemies, but you do whatever floats your boat, wags the tail, tickles the pickle, you know what I mean. And the last one I have on the list is pretty controversial. So many people on my last best Warzone settings video was saying, you can't overclock it, you can't overclock it, you can't overclock it, you can't overclock it. Like, dude, you don't need to overclock it. It's already on a 1 millisecond delay time, so why would you need to overclock it? Because with other controllers, you were taking it from a 5 to 10 millisecond response time to a 1 millisecond, and these already come to you overclocked. So why are you bitching? This controller is by far the best investment I've made for the price point. By far, you guys need to get your hands on this. I don't have an affiliate code, but maybe Scuf will sponsor me one day. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are brand new. And I do stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, or Friday at 5 p.m. PST if you guys are interested. Links in the bio, and I'm going to put also the link to the best Warzone settings if you're a Call of Duty player and you want to see those. And I will see you guys in the next video, right? Later.